modular programming or functional programming in C++. So let me start a new project. Select it console application. Here we will write modular programming, etc. Any name can be given to the project. Okay, save the main file. As usual, start from the name space std. We are going to elaborate what is meant by modular programming, or what is meant by functional programming, or what is meant by function. Function is named block of code. Basically, function has three properties. Three properties and three methods and three procedures and three sections to define and declare a function that we'll discuss in this entire lecture. What are the properties? First of all, identifier means its name. Second one is attributes, or we can simply say that input of the function. Input of the function, it may be null. And last one is returns, or return, we can also say that return, because function can only return a single value, or we can simply say this is the output of the function. These are the three things that we have to clearly understand, that function is combination of these three properties. It has some kind of name, it has some kind of properties that is called attributes or parameters, or it has some third properties called return value, return type, or that can also be told as return. Okay, there are three parts of the function, of functions. Three parts, three sections. First of all, declaration of function. We will discuss in this video in detail. Declaration is also called signature of function. Second one is definition of function. This is also called function statements that will execute. And third one is called function call. It is also called calling or execution of function. These are the three parts of the function. Declaration is much more important, as well as definition, and as well as its implementation or execution, that is called function call. We will go through the entire these three things and three properties in the entire lecture. Okay, now we will have to declare a function that is much more simple and much more simpler to understand. We say here void, let's suppose print and void. Okay, this is basically called function declaration. I have to clarify that this is called function declaration. Here, what is meant by function declaration? Function declaration contains three parts, as we have discussed earlier. First of all, its return type. Second one, its identifier or name. Third one is called its parameter. Here we use the word void. Void means this function will not return any kind of value. This function will not take any kind of parameters. Void means nothing in the programming languages, in programming context. Now, what will this function do? We will write here void print function definition, which will similar to function declaration, except that it will contains some statements. We will write here cout, let's suppose hello and blah blah. Okay, so control C, copy. Okay, this is going to be execute. These are the 3 or 4 lines that I have written. These are called statements that will be executed whenever function call. The first line, that is much more similar to our function declaration. This is called function header. and this is called these lines. From these lines, this is called body of the function. We can only we can make it much more simple to understand. Okay, let me here paste it, function header, and this is the starting of function body, and accumulatively this will call function definition. We can write here this is definition. Okay, we have covered two parts and three properties of the function. Here is the function declaration, here is the function definition. These are the two important parts of the function, and function property is clearly notified here that this is the parameters, this is portion of identifier, this portion is return type. This function means this will not take any kind of input or parameter. Void means this will not return any kind of value, and print means this will call or execute by its name, that is called print. Okay, let it to be execute in the main function. We write here print. We were trying to execute this function or use our user defined function. This is called user defined function. Or let me execute this code. Compiling, compiled successfully, and this is also executed successfully. This told us that function is called and executed. When function is executed, the statements within the function definition or function body will run. We can call function multiple times. Let's suppose we write here cout calling first time, and we will write here. Okay, I have to copy this entire code. Okay, we write here calling second time. This is the ease of using function. This clearly saying that we will not have to write the same set of statements hello 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 again. We are just calling the function. The function will print these entire statements each and every time when this function will call. That's why we will not have to worry about what are going on. Okay, let me know here. This is the function declaration. Okay, this is function declaration that is necessary when we are writing function definition after the main function. Okay, focus it. This function, if we write this function definition after the main function, then function declaration or function signature is mandatory or compulsory. If we write function definition before the main function, then this function declaration is not compulsory, or we can skip this function declaration. As I have to undo again, this is the function declaration. I am going to write function definition before main function so that I have no more need of function declaration. I will just write the function definition here. Okay, clear it. If we write function definition before the main function, let me run and compile it again. Compiling, going to be run. This is running successfully, as we have eliminate or terminate or cut off function declaration. This is also running fine. Now we are going to modify this function for getting some kind of parameters. One demonstration single. Okay, we say here return type of this function is int, means it will return integer type data, and it will take two values a and b which are named. And in function definition we are going to write return keyword is used to return values from the function. Let's suppose we write here a plus b, return a plus b. What are these a plus b? These a plus b are coming from function header. These are coming from function header. These are the inputs of the function or parameters, or can say arguments of the function that will provide it whenever this function will call. Okay, here I have to clarify some other things. The function that have some kind of return type rather than the white, we can use it in cout statement or we can use it in assignment statement. I have to clarify it again. The functions that have return type rather than the void, we can use it in cout statement or any assignment statement. Okay, let me call it print 6. Here, pop-up menu is showing that this function will take two parameters, and what will happen when we will call this function? This is saying that this is the output of this function. What is happening inside the function? Let me tell you. Basically, this function is the simplest function that is getting two parameter as an input. First is A and second is B. This is returning integer type data. Whenever these parameters will be provided into the function, let me clear it again. When these parameters are provided to the function, first one is A and second one is B. Then in the body of the function, it is getting some of these two parameter provided values, and using the return built-in method, built-in keyword, this is going to be return of integer value. And we are in main function or main program, this function will call, as I have told you earlier, that each and every function that have some kind of return type rather than the void, we can use it in cout statement, or we can also use this type of function in assignment statement. Let me know here. We can also use this function in the assignment statement. We say here int sum is equal to print 5 3 by 9 3 by 5. Okay, cout, let me print this sum variable. What will happen here? We declare a sum variable, call a function, provided two values 3 and 5. This function will return, as written in its definition, the sum of these provided two parameters, and the return value will be assigned to the variable sum. Okay, when the sum variable will be populated with the return value of the print function, then we are going to print this sum value. This is going to be executed, compiled successfully, as we have provided 3 and 5. The sum of function return its total as 8. We have to just change its name. We are going to change its name to sum, or any other name can be provided. This is the sum or summation, or we can provide its name as 8. This approach is called functional programming approach, structured programming approach, or we can say it as modular programming approach. We will use this approach in our further classes for implementation of recursive function, or use these kind of approach to elaborate much more facilities that can be used to by using the function. Okay, let me clear it. Function has three properties, that is identifier, attributes and outputs. And function implementation compromises on the three parts. First one is its declaration, that is also called signature, definition and function body. This is the simplest function body. We can differentiate between the arguments of the function or functions, definition and header and call of the function. The arguments or parameters that are provided in the function header or function signature. These arguments are called formal arguments, formal parameters. Here we can say that here A and B are formal parameters. And here we also provide 3 and 5 to the function. These are also called parameter. Here we can say that 3 and 5 are called actual parameters. The parameters that are provided, so that the parameters that are provided at the time of function call are called actual parameters, and the parameters that are provided in the function declaration or in the function header are called formal parameters. Actual parameters may vary whenever we call a function, and the formal parameters are only specified at the time of writing the code. This is the complete process that we can use to write any complicated functions. If we understand that function as a return type, identifier, and these are the three parts of the functions. Okay.